G'day guys, Clint here from EcomFire.com. Hope everything is well. Today I'm going to be talking about a little bit about two different things technically, okay, or two different ways of looking at things. I'm going to talk briefly about setting goals, but also bouncing back when or resetting your goals if things don't go exactly to plan, and that's life, and we all know that. So I guess firstly, okay, setting your goals. Everyone says, yep, it's all a good idea to go and set goals and do the business, right? But if those goals don't mean something to you, okay, I'm not talking about joint goals or, like, just say you got your missus or whatever, or your girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. If it's all, I mean, it's okay to share your life, I mean, obviously, but what I'm talking about is goals. Some goals need to mean a lot to you personally, okay? It's okay to go on ahead and say, yep, I want to go get the big house and the cars and everything else and lock yourself into a whole heap of massive debt, but it's a little bit toxic, okay? So, and those sort of things don't necessarily motivate you heavily, okay? It might be different if your business goals are to go and make $1 million this year cash and go and pay for all this, money down, like living the dream, balling, but I don't know, your goals, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what your goals need to be, but whatever your goals happen to be, they have to mean something to you, okay? So we're talking about setting goals, but I mean, I could talk about that all day, I suppose, but I'm going to briefly talk about how I set my goals, and I break them down into micro, small, medium, and long-term goals, okay? So the micro is during the day, what I want to do, get done, achieve that day. Small or short-term goals are usually weekly, so that's how I break my goals down. Medium-term goals are usually sort of, 3 months to 6 months, and long-term goals are obviously heading towards a year, 5 years, okay? So, I mean, that's how I set my goals, but my goals are very, very specific, okay? They've got a specific timeline, and I know how and when I'm going to achieve them. They're not just they're not flippant, if that makes any sense. I put my goals on a timeline so that I can literally hit my targets and achieve my dreams, achieve my goals. So then you can do the same, of course. So just make the goals achievable and build a timeline into it, okay? Don't just say, I want a McMansion and, Lamborghini. Forget about it, right? That's okay for your big long-term goal, sure, but, you need to have your goals broken down into steps to get there. And you also need a really good vehicle to get there too, okay? So you can't just be stuck in the GOB and expect to make it happen, unless you're some kind of... corporate executive really crushing it, maybe then, when you've got a few shares in the company, etc. You make really big fat rips on commissions and etc. But that's not where I'm sort of getting sidetracked there. But what I also want to talk about is when you don't hit your goals. Okay, a few years back, I had a really big setback. I was on track to have the biggest year of my life. I won't go into it too much, but anyway, okay, and for about 6 months after, and it all fell over, just crushed all my dreams. I mean, I was on, as far as I was concerned, my brother and I were on our way to, what they like to call FU money, and it didn't go to plan. We stuffed it, or well, I didn't personally stuff it up, but things fell through, and lost a whole heap of money. Lost a whole heap of time, a whole heap of energy, and I was crushed, you know what I mean? I had to head back to Australia because I love living here in Thailand, and it all just went to shit. And so I had to pick myself up, and I'm sure you guys have had the same thing happen to you before, whether it be you lost your job or, whatever. I mean, there's 1,000 different things that could have happened, but that's what happened to me. And for about 6 months, I just didn't do anything, like an idiot. I almost gave up, right? And then one day I just clicked. I'm just sitting there. I was sitting at the pub with a couple of mates who've been doing the same shit for years, and nothing changes ever with these guys, never. They're just tradesmen, and that's what they do. And and they're happy with that, and that's fine too. You know, that's all good, but that's not me, right? And I'm sitting there just sort of thinking to myself, no, holy shit, what are you doing, Clint? What are you doing? So I went home that day and I rewrote all my goals out, every single thing. And the number one thing was to find a way to work online, right? To work online and be completely location independent. So I didn't have to be anywhere in the world. And that's exactly what I did, guys. I mean, I laid it out to the letter, to the absolute letter. So I'm researching on the net, found a few different, you know, internet businesses, this, that, the other. I tried a few different things. But then I hit dropship lifestyle, and I knew it. I knew it was the one, right? So I made my mind up, reevaluated my goals. I said 3 months from now, I'll be back in Thailand, and I was, right? And I'm kicking goals left, right, and centre now. I'm back on track. I'm building on my dreams and my success. I mean, because of the dropship lifestyle, there's me and Len and Ben build EcomFire out of nothing. You're watching these videos, EcomFire. You were talking about setting goals, but this idea just came out of nowhere, because we when you're networking with like-minded people, this kind of stuff happens, right? It's a very exciting time. We've got big plans for what we're doing. I've got big plans for dropshipping. I've got big plans for FBA, and I hope, you know, anyone that's watching this considers checking out what we do. And I'll tell you what it is. Go to ecomfire.com/DSL, right? Use that referral link, and you'll get our 10-part dropship accelerator course. Plus, you'll get half an hour of coaching with either me or one of the other boys. So go and check that out. ecomfire.com/DSL. I mean, that's what I did to set myself free. I mean, I literally was in the worst state of mind when I got back to Australia. You have no clue. 6 months of feeling sorry for myself, you know, like an idiot, instead of just dusting my shit off and getting organised and going again. You know, but, you know, that happens. I suppose that happens in life, you know what I mean? But sitting there in that pub with the guys I grew up with my whole life, you know, they've never left the town that we grew up in. You know, they got married to their high school sweethearts, etc. I mean, it's so cliche, like, and it wasn't for me. So I was glad I sat there that day and had that, like, epiphany, I guess. And I hope, you know, if you're struggling or anything like that, or, you know, you're struggling to set your goals, like I said, set them out nice and specific. If you're sort of struggling or wondering what I'm going to do, you know, how I'm going to set myself free, go and check out ecomfire.com/DSL, right? There's a very good chance that it'll work for you. It did for me. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Have a really good day, successful day. Literally get off this YouTube vid and start writing out your goals right now. Righto, mate. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.